Has anyone ever told you that you have to be there to experience it? This is your chance to give your kid that experience.
My husband and I have been bringing groups with School Tours of America. We don't do it because it's a good company. We do it because it's a good family.
My name is Cindy Billingsley. I'm an 8th grade teacher of U.S. History at La Paz Intermediate. I have traveled with School Tours of America for 8 years.
My name is Jim Glodich, and I'm at Hobby Middle School in San Antonio, Texas. The kids every year come back and tell me it's one of the best things they did in 8th grade their entire life. It's something they cherish, and they come back and tell me 5, 10, 15 years from now.
Tammy McCullough from Vancouver, Washington. I've been doing a trip with my students for the last 22 years or so. I am pleased with School Tours of America, mainly because they take care of their parents, they take care of their students, and they take care of their teachers very well from start to finish.
School Tours is owned and run by teachers and ex-teachers, so it's run by people who truly care about students and who understand what students need.
Most of the representatives are not only teachers, but we're also parents. We're familiar with all the particulars of youth travel.
The kids love the trip. They get to connect with their learning in the classroom, bring it to life. Watching their eyes open every year that I do this is amazing.
On the way to see the Statue of Liberty, as it got closer and closer, I realized we were about to set foot on Ellis Island, where millions of immigrants, our ancestors, laid their first step to America. It was mind-blowing.
It brings everything that you've ever studied alive. You get to actually visit the places.
The towers we saw in New York, it was kind of a sad sight to see the waterfalls of the old towers, but it was also really cool to see the new towers being built right over them, kind of saying our country can be rebuilt and we're doing it like we have once before.
On this trip, kids are exposed to our centers of commerce, culture, and history. It's a very powerful experience.
I now understand the Sinatra line. If I can make it there, I can make it anywhere.
This is my 5th trip, the full experience, New York City. 6:30 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night, and it is jam-packed full of learning and fun.
We have students that years later come up to us and say, that was the best thing in my life, that turned my whole life around. I saw a reason for education. I saw a reason to get good grades. I want to be able to travel in the future, and to do it, I see I need to have a good education, and this was a good start.
This trip has changed the way I view the world. It made me realize that it's so much bigger.
Many of my alumni still make contact with me. What they remember out of the 8th grade is basically the trip. Some of them went to NYU, Columbia, Georgetown, so a West Coast population now seeing the East Coast and wanting to go and see the rest of the world from that point.
This tour offers so many light bulb moments for the kids. For one thing, it's their first time away from home. They're traveling with their friends, staying in the same room, budgeting their souvenir money.
It felt like I had a big group of 65 children of my own that, you know, to watch them like blossom and really enjoy it, and to see the looks of awe and the questions they've come up with at different places, because it was just fascinating to them.
New York is awesome, especially because of their food. There's Chinatown and Chelsea's Market and Little Italy. Everywhere you go, you're gonna find something awesome to eat.
I don't think there's one place that I went that I wasn't happy. It was awesome. Yeah.
New York was so much fun. We got to see Broadway shows and go shopping on 5th Avenue, go to Central Park, all these things that I've heard about but never got to actually experience.
Everything here is just so beautiful, and I really like learning from all the tour guides because they're so passionate about what they teach.
Our guides are extremely knowledgeable in history, but what's most important is they know how to connect with students. Most of them are either retired teachers or they're historians, maybe even retired military. One of the guides that I have graduated from Columbia University and is in the process of writing his second novel. We have off-Broadway and Broadway actors that do this on the side. By the time the students are with them for an hour, they're eating out of their hands, wanting to know more about New York and wanting to be part of everything, asking them hundreds of questions.
If you're the parent trying to decide if you should send your child on this trip, this isn't a vacation. This is an investment in their future. This will change the way they view the world. It'll change the way they view themselves.
My name is Brad Fickett. This has been a trip of a lifetime. There's more memories made on this trip than you could imagine. I've seen more things in just a few days than I could ever see on my own. I have enjoyed this so much, and more importantly, my son has enjoyed this so much. This is just an incredible trip with an incredible organization, and it is well worth it.
We never spend a lot of time on the road. We don't waste our time. The money's well spent. Parents have been very happy and very pleased with everything they've done and seen on the trip.
In New York, we got to go to the top of the rock and just see the whole city. It's amazing.
When you bring your groups, each student is covered by our own private insurance. And when you're here, we have access to doctors. They can travel to the hotel or to the tour bus.
I've had students get sick. I even had to take a student to the hospital. Everything was covered. There's no problem at all.
Your group's comfort and safety is our top priority. School Tours of America wants you to feel safe, and they want your group to feel safe. So they have security that arrives on the floor at 10 o'clock. They make sure that the kids are in their rooms from that time until breakfast.
The security keeps track of everything. In the morning, I get a minute-by-minute report.
I want your parents to know that myself and my guards take this work very seriously. We hope that through our efforts, you as a parent would feel better about allowing your child to come visit us.
This was one of the best trips I have taken with students. The activities were great, the accommodations were wonderful, the food was good, kids were always safe, it was very educational, they learned a lot.
My advice to you, sign up for this trip as soon as you can.
Not only was New York so much fun, it also had so much history to it. We got to stand where General George Washington stood when he read the Declaration of Independence to his troops.
Another thing that I really like about school tours is that they have an innovative fundraising platform where students can go onto the website and they can create their own page and help get fundraising from relatives, companies.
We were fundraising about a little less than 6 months. We did sponsorships, requesting sponsorships. We did gift wrapping over Christmas, movie nights, and anything else we could think of to raise money for the kids.
I didn't have enough money for the whole trip, but I knew I could afford the registration fee and that I could work hard enough to earn enough for the rest. The website helps you raise money for the trip. You get to do a service project and find sponsors, and you really can earn enough if you try.
My tour fund is the reason I'm here. Without it, I could not afford to come here. I'm grateful for my tour fund.
The one thing I consistently hear over and over is that this was the best week of my life. I loved every part of it. I can't wait to go home and show my grandma and my grandpa the things that I've seen and the things I've learned that they've told me about, but I never really connected it until I came and saw.
Words can't even describe what that trip was like. And after I went, I came home and told my younger sisters how great it was, and now they're excited to go, and it's just something I would recommend to everybody. And I can't thank my parents enough for sending me on the trip.
"20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover." Mark Twain.